Hello everyone and welcome to the next episode of Art Side of Life, where I chat with inspiring artists 5 days a week. My name is Eva and my guest today is Fleur de Marie, also known as Coffeshere. In this episode you will learn how to sell your art online and how to make your prints more special for your audience.
Also, what I'm doing right now is, because of the paper, they look like the real watercolors, and I usually use gold on my works. I started to paint the gold on it. That makes the print more special, and
Fleur de Marie is an illustrator, character designer, and concept artist from Mexico. She studied graphic design and animation and currently works in the art department of the local animation studio called Mr. Matin, where she creates character design and background art. Her art is influenced by manga and anime, and she strives to bring good feelings and vibes to her audience. She sells her works mostly in her online store, at the art conventions, and she's having a special technique how to make her prints more unique. So please welcome Fleur de Marie, and let's get to the interview. So hello and welcome everyone to the next episode of Art Side of Life, and please welcome my new guest today, Fleur Marie.
Hello everyone. It's really nice to be here.
Hi, and let's talk about your background and if you can tell us a little bit more about how you grew up.
Well, I grew up here in Mexico. It will be in Guadalajara City, and I think I have a really normal middle class life. I went to school and everything else. And I was interested in art science. I was a child. I love watching cartoons, and I still love watching cartoons. It's not something that has left me.
So what was your favorite cartoon?
Of all time? Or
like when you were a child? Maybe when you were a child, and what is now?
Well, when I was a child, I loved Ranma and a Half and Sailor Moon. Mm-hmm. Mostly anime. Yeah. That's what I really, really loved, and I still do.
And then you were talking about the rest of kind of which were the biggest turning points and decisions you had to do in order to follow your passion. If you can tell us that story.
Yeah, well, I think I have 3 turning points. The first one was that I joined an independent comic group. Mm-hmm. We do scenes, we do small manga or comics, depending in our style. And we printed them in our homes and sold them at conventions. That was when I was in high school. And that made me feel that this really was for me, like drawing and selling stuff and also talking to other people on conventions. I think that was one of my biggest. And I also graduated from animation university, mm-hmm. And that helped me go into the animation industry and learn a lot about art, mm-hmm. and direction and all the media. Well, yeah, Lolita Fashion really helped me to feel better with myself, mm-hmm. and feel that I still could draw and do stuff. Yeah. That will be my...
And when you were on high school, was it like like generic high school or was it art high school?
It has many like programs. Mm-hmm. One of it was graphic design. Mm-hmm. So it was like an art high school.
Yeah.
And well, it really helped me a lot because I was going to study design for university. But since I learned it on high school, mostly of it, well, I decided to go to animation and expand my knowledge.
Yeah. And what was the first discussion what you had with your parents about like, oh, I want to take art professionally?
There was never a discussion. They have always supported me. They were like, oh, okay, it's okay to go to art if that is what you really want. So they have always been really nice parents, and I'm really thankful for that.
And how was it perceived in your area? Like, art? Because in like some people when they are growing up, it's more like art, and you cannot live from art. And so, was it considered as a normal profession in your like circles of friends and family, or people also talked about like, oh well, how will you live from art, and you will be like starving artist?
No, it's it's like that. It's not seen like a profession. It's like, oh, you draw stuff, like nice. It's not seen as a profession here, so I think it really helped me that my parents didn't see it that way because all the other people did, and I'm I'm now living with this, and yes, it is really difficult to live as an artist, but it's not impossible.
Yeah.
It exists as a job. And let me see. Well, as also the animation career here is like absolutely new. It has like 7 years. It's on diapers totally.
Oh, wow.
So it's and then working here animation. It's also like the cheerleaders. Like, oh, you pump people or animate. So when you tell I'm studying animation, it's like, oh, you go to parties and cheer them up or what? And I was like, no, I do cartoons and video games and stuff. So it's like really difficult. Sometimes I just say that I work at graphic design or that I studied graphic design because sometimes it's really difficult to explain what animation is in here.
Yeah.
Because it's totally not seen as a profession.
Okay, so what people see as animation, I just for me to understand more. So if you say you work for animation, what would people say, like, or what would they think that you do?
They think that you are a clown or a cheerleader,
So
or someone that.
so something like an entertainer or like a
Yeah, like an entertainer.
Okay.
It's because it's the same work. The animar or animación is like entertain or
Okay.
or cheerleader like cheer up.
Yeah. Okay.
It's the same word, so they are like, oh, you go to parties and stuff like that, and it's like,
Which can be fun as well.
Yeah, we can also do that stuff. But
And so, kind of, who inspired you to follow your passion or your path, or did you have a mentor, like either on high school, or was it through the events and festivals you mentioned that you went to?
Mentor, I will say that is my brother. Since we were young, he's really clever, and he always have like a sense of what is a good work. So I showed to him my little drawings, and he said, "Oh, you could do this or that." And like he's 8 years older than me, so I remember that when he was at high school, he got some art classes, and he taught me what he was learning, and that helped me grow a lot. And he's still kind of a mentor. Like he helps me and says what's going on with my work. Yeah, I think I'm really here because of him.
Oh, that's super cool.
Also, I think Yoshiyuki Sadamoto, that is a manga artist, and I think he's also an animator and a character designer. When I was a little, I was really a fan of him. And I saw that he studied graphic design and stuff. I tried to follow his life. So it's like a important figure.
So what was the name again, please? I didn't get it.
Yoshiyuki Sadamoto
Yes.
is the one that did character designs for many anime, but the first one is Evangelion.
Yeah. And so what was kind of your best advice or the worst advice what you ever received?
Yeah, I think the best and worst advice is actually the same one, because throughout my art life, I have been told that I should stop drawing anime or manga style, like especially in high school and university. It was like, no, you can make that, you won't find job, it's impossible, everyone that does that style here sucks. So it was like, oh my god. But that also really helped me because it made me experiment with more styles, like see other kind of movies, expand my visual knowledge. So it was like a bad advice, but a good advice also. I think it would have been better if they had told me in a different way. I think it would have been better. Not like, no, you can draw that because you will find job. Anyway, it would be like, oh, you have to expand your vision, and that's all. Yeah, I think it's the same one.
And how did you choose your university? Like, how did you decide which university to go to?
Mm, well, it was strange because at first I wanted to do plastic arts, but I didn't enter in that school. Mm, so I decided to go back to my state campus as the high school. It also has a university, and animation just showed up. And well, since it's a good school and I had a discount because I studied high school there, I went there. But actually at first I went to graphic design, but then I saw that, oh, I'm just learning what I learned in high school. I should better do other stuff. And then I joined animation.
Yeah, and universities in your area, they are paid or free? Because, you know, some areas in Europe, the schools are for free, and the US, it's paid, and so on. So how is it in your area?
You can have both. There is private and there is public. Actually, the plastic art school that I wanted to go is the public one. But it's the only university that has that career, I think.
Yeah, so the only one with the stuff you wanted to study.
Yeah. Well, at the time, but I think I made the right decision to study animation, even if it was a really new career.
Yeah, yeah. And now when you're creating your artworks, you use a lot of also traditional materials. And so what is the vision you're trying to communicate through all of your artworks? Or is there some message in every illustration or across all the drawings you have?
Kind of. What I really want to do with my art is to make people feel good, like feel calm inside, warm. I also have some works that are more dark, but that also creates like an empathy, like, oh, I can also feel pain, or it's okay to feel pain. I really want to make people feel good with my work. That's why sometimes it's so cute. Maybe it's not really special, but I know that works. I know that's what makes me happy, and I hope that other people is also happy when they see them.
Yeah, think about like our audience, like young artists, they want to try and start the art career. So what would you advise them to start with? Like tools and mediums, maybe what you used then and what do you use now?
My advice will be, right now with all the information that we have available on the internet, is to see all kind of books, also see all kind of tutorials and techniques, like just absorb as much information as you can, because if you experiment a lot, you can find a medium or something that you like. You don't have to stick with just one. I learned because my mother had so many materials, so I experimented a lot. I have oil pastels, pencil, watercolors, and I use all of them, and I realized that I really like watercolors. And I don't know, I really had fun, and I didn't think about, oh, I will work for this, or it will be my job. I just did it because I really liked it. And I still use it, but now with mixed media, or also right now, I use Photoshop for the work and other illustrations, but my favorite one is watercolors.
Yeah, and do you have a favorite brand from the watercolors or the pencils or something?
Well, right now I bought a Schminke watercolor set, and I didn't use professional paint before. I thought the difference wouldn't be that much. I had a Cotman Winsor & Newton before, and I was just curious to upgrade my stuff. But when I tried it, I was like, oh my God, it really feels so different. the vibrancy of the colors and also the
Consistency, yeah.
the consistency of the paint. It's really nice. Yeah.
And so you mentioned also your mom that she had also paints, and so was your whole family kind of artistic, and so you had like the art base at home?
It's strange. Well, my mom studied fashion design. So she studied fashion design, but she's a teacher, an English teacher actually. But I always saw her draw or like stuff for the school, and I also saw her sketchbook of her yacht with all the fashion designs that she did. So she had a lot of materials because of that. And she will just let me use them like, yeah, go ahead, it's yours if you want to. So, and my father also paints like for a hobby, but it's not that they work into art, but like they also enjoy it or maybe understand it. I don't know what. Yeah.
Perfect. And so right now, do you work full time as an artist?
Yes, I work in the art department of an animation studio. It's called Mr. Machine. And well, I do concept art, I do character design, and also background design. That's what I do for my full-time job.
And then also you do your private drawings or your how do you say it, like the other work what you create. I saw that you created now the sketchbook what you are selling, and what are other projects you are excited about right now, and maybe something which is coming up and you want to share?
Well, right now I'm really excited with my stuff. With my store. I'm preparing a lot of stuff. I'm doing some new t-shirts, some also sketchbooks. I also want to do metal pins that they are so in fashion right now. And also do keychains, the acrylic ones. I really want to expand my store, but I'm also working on my own manga. I'm doing the story right now, and I'm really excited for both of them. I hope that at some point I can live from them and I stop my full-time job because I really like it, but it will be better if I just did my stuff.
Yeah, and so you sell mostly prints, or are you planning to do also like a book or a comic book with your characters, or do you want to stay more with prints and merchandise like t-shirts and keychains?
I have printed little books like with my Inktober.
Ah, nice.
So this is from 2015. Yeah.
Super cool.
Well, I also have the last year's, but I haven't uploaded it on the store. This is different. It's like you can open it and all the images are separated. Let me. It's like I think it's more like a book. It's like a postcard set, and I will upload it, I hope soon. So this is from 17, and they are all individual. Yeah, but I also want to make stuff that people wear, like the t-shirts or keychains, more things that they can keep with them than a book that they just put on a shelf.
Oh, nice. So you will keep creating also the books or kind of like collections of prints for like each year, and then maybe you will expand the shop later on with other projects.
Yeah, that's right. I think the prints and all that will be more like limited editions or something in a really small batch. And the other stuff will be like more available.
And so how do you find the production for your materials or prints? Because a lot of people, also including me, always have a problem to find a good printing store or, the good material that you can find. So how do you go around that? How do you find it in your area, or do you do it overseas, or how do you do it?
I actually have a friend of mine, a friend from high school, and university since I studied graphic design. She owns a printer. So, well, I send my works, my stuff to her, and she also helps me find new materials. Like right now, I'm using this paper is a texturized one.
Mm-hmm.
It looks like it was Fabriano or Guarro paper, but it isn't. It's actually for like wedding invitations and stuff, so you can print on them. But the texture is really nice, and if you see it, you think that it's the original one.
Yeah.
And she helped me find that paper. I wouldn't even think. I wouldn't. I wouldn't have think about it.
Mm-hmm.
And well, she has helped me a lot.
Oh, perfect. Do you know what is the brand of the paper as a recommendation or?
No, they always ask me, but since I don't buy it, they buy it for me.
Yeah.
I can say that I don't know the name, but I know that it's paper that they use for wedding invitations and that kind of scrapbook stuff. So if you just go to a paper store and ask for that kind of catalog, like the invitation catalog, you can find there a lot of very pretty papers that are not conventional and that you can print on them. That is the stuff you want to do. They also have like some with glitter on them or with other light colors. So it's worth a try just to experiment and to search stuff.
Ah, perfect. Yeah, I like it because it's nice to find out like what paper you can try or how can you print. And, yeah. And if you also can print with like smaller batches, like less amount, that's also really good.
Yes. Also, what I'm doing right now is, well, this one. Well, this one.
Nice.
Since because of the paper, they look like the real watercolors, and I usually use gold on my works. I started to paint the gold on it. I think it doesn't show up, but I don't know, that makes the print more special, and I do small batches of this, and I paint them by hand. And it's a lot of work, but I think it looks really cool. Yeah.
So how many do you usually do? You said like small batches, it's like 50, for example?
Well, since I just have been selling them on conventions, I'm just like 20 pieces per image.
Per artwork,
yes, because it will be also really exhausting to paint all that print.
Yeah, and so you have like so many activities, like you go for conventions and you have like full-time jobs. So how do you design your day or how do you plan your week kind of so you are able to do everything?
Well, I have like 1 year that I've been using the bullet journal system. You can find a lot of tutorials in YouTube. And I don't know, I think that kind of changed my life because I just have like 1-2 hours free per day. So it's a really small time, and I come home like really tired. So there I just know what I have to do, like, oh, today I have to do this or that, and they are really small tasks. Like maybe one day I just cut like 5 stickers, but I know in the end it's for a bigger task. So with my journal, I can divide it into small tasks and do it in the really small amount of time that I have. If not, it will be impossible. I think so. Well, before my journal, I just went like, oh, I want to do this today, and I actually never finished stuff. Like I did that, and the next day I did another thing, and I didn't finish anything at all. But now I know what I have to do, even if I don't have the energy or motivation. It's like, oh, this is today, and that's all. Yeah.
So that's cool. So you work like 5 days a week, right? At work, and do you also on your own stuff? Do you work over the weekends, or you strictly put it only on a week? Because you said you are opening your store. Do you have your own website to share with our audience, or do you have like some of these like Society 6 or Store Envy or Redbubble, or which one are you using?
I'm using the Store Envy. I really like it because you can have like your own main website, and you can design it. I don't know, I really like it. And what was the question before that one?
So like if you work like 5 times a week or 5 days a week, and then if you work on your own projects also the weekends.
I work more or less on Sunday because, well, I also have a girlfriend and I also have to give time to my girlfriend. So actually weekends are more like to going out and see the sky and life outside. Because all the week I'm in the computer because I arrive home and I continue my work. So on weekends I'm really like I just want to be away from the computer for a while.
So you do like social life is only Saturday?
Yeah. Yeah, because I also live kind of far from my work, so I do a lot of community time. So yes, in the weekend it's like just all work. Well, some days I just go on a day with my girlfriend, but it's just one day or two. I wish it would be more, but
So what do you do for relax or kind of just to motivate yourself again to work? Is it like a meditation, or you go to nature, or is it, I don't know, having coffee or watching TV, or what is the activity?
I what I do. I think working on my own stuff really motivates me. I don't feel tired when I do my own work colors or my own ideas. I feel like, oh, this is really nice. It's really great. I get tired from my work. I don't know. Sometimes I just don't want to go, but I have to. But when I arrive home and I do my stuff, it's like, oh, this is so nice. But I also like to watch nature, like on my way home or my way to work, like just seeing small plants. I don't know, it gives me life. Maybe that's weird, but yeah. I don't have like any routine like meditation or that. And sometimes I just sleep for a whole day and then I woke up and yeah, this is nice.
So which are kind of your biggest inspirations? Like you said, like you have a nature as well. Do you have something as well strange to as a inspiration?
Well, I didn't get that question fully, but what I came with was that when I'm painting or when I look at really beautiful colors or that I like, my eyes like kind of feel nice, and sometimes I can also salivate. Like if I could taste them, I don't know, but I really like the sensation. It's like, oh, painting is so nice because I don't know, I can feel it also in my body. I
So you
think
can
it's
feel
weird.
the colors.
I think so. I just know that I feel colors. Yeah.
Yeah, but it's
But
really cool.
I I I hope.
No, because I'm also inspired like a lot with colors, and I'm also mostly motivated by colors, and I'm not so much interested in like drawings and lines, but more the color variations or the combinations. So I get your point.
Okay, that's nice.
And so, like, you mentioned the conventions before, and we talked about like different jobs. What is in your experience, kind of, how do you get noticed, or what is the networking you do? Is it mostly online, or is it the conventions you got to your contacts, or how is it?
Hmm. I think it's like two sides. One is the online one. There is mainly on Instagram or Facebook. Uh, I just upload stuff, and I don't know. It gets a good response. But also conventions or art events right here, it's more like for the animation industry in here. Like if you know if I know people in conventions or any other event, it's more like to find a stable job or to find some friends than for the online world. I don't know. It's like I think the online world is like the illustration world for me. And the real world is like the animation world for me. I don't know if that makes sense, but well, also in conventions, I get to know people from, well, from here, from my country. I haven't gone to an international con. I hope someday, but it's really nice to see that people know me. I sometimes get really surprised, like they're like, "Oh, you're a Coffeshere," and like yes, but I don't know. It's not something that I expect. Like, yeah, everyone will know me. No, I just like I'm here to see if I can let me know. Uh, but people sometimes know me, and that's like a really incredible feeling. And I don't know. It still really surprised me that
Oh,
people.
yeah, but it's really cool. And so, when you are creating new things or new projects, how do you decide what to say yes to and no to? Kind
Mm.
of, what do you prioritize?
Mm, well, if it's an illustration, if it's an illustration work, it's more if I have time. If I have time, I will mostly say yes. uh, and also, if the style I want it fits my style, because sometimes people can ask you like, "Oh, you can draw me this," and I don't know. It's more like a comic style, like I don't know, muscular guys and stuff like that, and it's like, well, I can do it, but I know it will not be my best work, so I wouldn't
Yeah.
accept that job. But if it's a cute girl or a cute boy or something really feminine or that kind of stuff, it will be like, oh yes, this will be really great, and I will really have fun with that. So yeah, it will be like time, and if it fits my style. And in the other side, if it's an animation work, it's more if I have the time and also the payment they will give me, because sometimes the pay is really low, and it's like there's no way.
And when you had these experiences with the different projects, what was your kind of the worst or most difficult moment of your art career so far, and what did you learn from it?
mm, it will be when I came out from university. Uh, I don't know. It was a really difficult time. I had problems with my ex-girlfriend, and I also had a really strong feeling that the animation field wasn't for me. It kind of a lot of drama, and because the industry is really small in here, it's like the competition really is really strong. I don't know. I really felt bad about it, and I also felt really trapped. That I felt that I couldn't live from my stuff. Like I had to draw another styles, draw for someone else, and that really got me down. And I almost left. Like I will never do this again. I hate this. And that's when I turned to Lolita Fashion, and I started to dress myself up, and it helped me feel better with myself. Like I felt pretty, And because of that, wanted to start my own brand because I also know how to sew. So I was, well, I will make clothes. But because I wanted to make clothes, I started making like illustrations of the designs, of the fashion, and the patterns of the fabric. And I ended up drawing again. So it really helped me like go up, like see that I really can live from my own work. It's not necessary to give everything you have to a corporation or an animation studio. You can also do stuff and people will like it. Uh, so right now I'm doing kind of both. I returned to the animation industry and well, it's not perfect, but I can live with that. It's okay that it's not perfect. I will help to make that environment better in the way I can. But I also can do my personal work, and I hope that someday I will do personal work full time.
Oh, that's perfect. Yeah. And yeah, because then you can do like different things, so you don't have to focus only on one. And
Yeah.
yeah, so you can like slowly transition from yeah, like full-time job to your own project in the future.
Yeah, I hope it will be like that.
And so how did you find the first job after university? What was kind of the
Mm,
process? Did you just send your portfolios to different studios, or how did
mm.
you do it?
Well, well, I think it works the same in United States or other countries, but when they give you a job, it's because they know you. Like, oh, I have a friend that do this. Like, oh, let's call him her. But it was really difficult because I was getting out of my depression, and in my depression, like, was like 2 years I didn't see anyone. So I didn't have any contacts. So I just started sending my portfolio to everywhere I could, but uh, uh, I had luck because my university opened up an animation project, and since I was good at school and they knew me, they called me like, oh, can you work here for this animation project that we have? And I was like, oh, hell yeah, I finally have a job. And, and that job helped me to form my portfolio for my next job that I'm right now. But I think the main thing is that you really have to make friends in that industry so that they know you, they can trust you. Like, oh, she is really nice to work with. It's really nice to work with that person and works good. But it it's more important if they have a personal connection, and if they just know you online, they are like very far away. Like, yeah, that guy is cool online, but they don't know anything else. So they will go, even if the people online is better, they will call the one that is here, the friend that they know and is
Yeah.
available.
Yeah, yeah, I agree. And so, is there something you wish you knew before you started the whole studies and career and
Yeah.
everything?
Right now, I wish I had new basic financial knowledge and how to charge my work, because they didn't teach me at school, not even how to charge my professional work, but like all the things that you have to pay as an adult and all that real stuff. It's like they just kind of hit you in the face when you go out. So it would be really nice if I knew some basic knowledge, because I think many people don't do this because they can't find a way to live in this. And if we had that information and knew how to stabilize the artwork's price, it will be better for all of us than than it's just like a taboo topic,
Yeah.
and it doesn't have to be taboo. I hope it
So
comes out.
how did you find out how much you should charge, you know, or like because like a lot of people talk about, yeah, of course, when you start you should charge less, and then when you have more experience you can higher up the prices, and if it is a big company you can charge more, or like there are a lot of discussions. But so how did you find out how much you should charge, like at the beginning, or did you have an inspiration from someone else, or you just tried something out, or what was your process?
Hmm. I when I get asked for illustration work, I like kind of ask other friends like how much have you charged for this? Uh, like in in my country currency, like an watercolor illustration, I'm charging like uh, 1,000 pesos. It will be like uh, $100 more or less, depending on the difficulty of it. But no, I don't know. It's really difficult because sometimes I feel that I charge a lot, and sometimes I feel that I charge so low. I just hope that it wouldn't be taboo, and people on the higher leagues will say, well, if I work for this company, I work this much. But they just say, like, you have to charge more. But yes, but how much is more?
Yeah.
And the industries know that we have that problem, that we have no idea how much to charge, and they just go like, we can charge you this, and everyone thinks, well, that's normal,
Yeah.
but it isn't.
Yeah, because
So I just
yeah, a lot of people don't realize that actually, like, the client also needs to pay basically that you have experience, you have education, you use materials, even though if you can be fast at it, but that means you are experienced, you know. So it's kind of really tricky topic, and also like not charging maybe per hour, but also just what value you can bring to the client, you know. So it's also just the outcome of your work. So there are like so many factors, right, as you mentioned. So it's
yeah.
really hard.
Yeah, it's really hard, but I think it will be better if people just say the numbers, not like, oh, you should figure out your own. They always say like, see how much you spend on your month, and then with that you have your price hour. But it's like, no, just give me a fucking number so I can know how much. And see like, oh, this guy that is really high is charging this, and this guy that is in the middle is charging this, and this guy that is starting is charging this. That will be like so awesome if we knew the numbers. But because they also come in like currencies, like, okay, if I charge in pesos, they know they can spend so little, and it's all the economy stuff.
Yeah. There should be some table, you know, of numbers, and you can kind of position yourself like, okay, I am somewhere here, so this is I should charge.
Yeah, I think that will be really nice to have.
That's actually a really good idea. Okay, new project.
Yeah, that will be perfect if you ask, like, say me a number here.
Yeah. And so do you have maybe some books you would recommend? Maybe something also about, if you have experience like about the finances you kind of learned, or like life meaning books, or art books, or something, or documentary or movie?
I have a really special documentary that helped me with my vision. That is the BBC documentary Why Beauty Matters by Roger Scruton. That is a philosopher.
Okay.
And well, it talks about how in the contemporary world, like, beauty was told it wasn't important, like it doesn't have any value, but it actually has, and it's a spiritual one that helps us go with life, go on, helps us carry it. And I think everyone in the art should watch it and make their own opinion, like, okay, that's cool, or no, I don't think so. But I don't know. I think I think you should watch it. It's really nice.
Good. I really like, and I haven't seen it yet, so this will be on my list.
Okay, yeah.
And is there some tool which simplifies your life? Maybe something you bought recently or some medium?
I recently bought a smartphone. I was really reluctant. I didn't want to buy it because it's like it's so expensive. I know I won't use it. It's like no, whatever. But well, my girlfriend convinced me to buy one, and I'm like, I I don't know. I really love it. I can do all stuff. I can learn. I can read. I can entertain myself, but mostly I can keep active my social media in any time, and I have the camera right there because after I had to take the photo, then pass it to the computer, then clean it, and it was a long process, and that kind of taught me to be more active because I had to spend more time. But now it's like just photo upload and it's ready, and it's really incredible. Yeah.
And do you have a favorite quote or something you like?
Very good. I really like to watch artist interview or writers, and there's one by Neil Gaiman. And a student asked him if there are no enough artists, and he says, "Well, no, there are not enough artists because no one has lived what you had lived, and no one will make the art that you will do because no one is you." And that really struck me like, oh my God, that's right. Maybe I'm not like really original or revolutionary or whatever, but no one will make exactly the same stuff I do because no one is me. And that's by Neil Gaiman, and that's something I always have on my mind. Thanks to him.
Yeah, because everyone is special, and they bring something else to art. So the last question, actually, what I want to ask you or talk about is future. And we discussed a bit that you would like to work on your own project in the future, like a dream scenario. And what would be what you would like to be remembered for in 100 years?
Well, since I really want to write and make my own stories, like graphic novels or manga, and I really want to make works that not only entertain but also helps people to understand themselves or feel better with themselves, or also understand other people. It's what I really want to do with my stories. And I don't know, it will be incredible if someone remembered me in 100 years, but I don't think about that. It's like, it's too more pressure, like, I will do something that will last forever. No, I just want to make a good work, and if it's good, it will last. I hope. I just trying my best. But if I could live from making my own stories and illustrations, it will be a dream come true.
Beautiful. Super cool. And I'm so happy that you are here and then you took time to inspire young people and artists around. And so thank you again for being here.
No, thank you for inviting me. Thank you so much for giving me this opportunity. Yes, really thank you.
Thanks again for being here, and thanks everyone for joining.
Okay. Bye everyone.
Hey guys, if you enjoyed this video, don't forget to give it a thumbs up and let me know in comments. Also, please subscribe to my channel for more videos because I post new interview every single workday. You can also find the resources mentioned in this episode at artsideoflife.com. Just type a guest name in the search bar. There is also a little freebie waiting for you, so go check it out. If you want to listen to the interviews on the go, make sure to check out the podcast episodes at artsideoflife.com/podcast. Thank you so much for watching. I really appreciate you, and don't forget to inspire each other. I will see you guys in the next episode.